So welcome to another Subject to Finance interview with one of our special guests from the industry. And today I'm talking to James Law. James is the founder of James Lay Realty, amongst other things. Has been, I think, set up James Lay Realty in about 2010, James. Is that about right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
so has been in the industry for a while and has been very innovative in terms of his time in the industry and brings a lot of interesting subject matter for us to talk about today. So welcome, James.
Hi, Andrew. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's great. It's great. So I'm going to start off a little bit on a personal note today and ask you how old you were when you bought your first home.
Yeah, I bought my first home when I was about 28.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you were talking about how did I come about buying the first property. Apparently, like when we were young and it's all about enjoying life and stuff like that. And then one day I thought, hey, there's this property seminars that that is after work. I might go there and have a look and see what I can learn about real estate.
Yeah.
And apparently, it was a very interesting seminar. And since then, I'm hooked in property seminars, and I've attended a few after that, and started. I'm pretty amazed and fascinated by how people build massive wealth, how Kiwis build wealth by investing in properties over time. And then I started the property hunt and bought my first property in about 2006.
Yeah, and that would have been something back in the day, like a Rich Mastery or one of those sort of seminars.
Yes, exactly. That was Rich Mastery. I just didn't want to mention the name.
Yeah. Well, I think they were very influential on a lot of people in New Zealand in terms of getting them started in property. I remember going to one of those as well at some point in time back in the day.
Right.
And yeah, so was it a big jump for you to get the deposit together to actually get on the ladder, or yeah?
Well, the first property that I bought was actually a section. It's kind of like like a sort of bargain. Then didn't take much deposit, so I built. And my parents built the house on it, and I've rented it. I still own the property today, which is great. It's been probably triple the value since then.
And how did you actually get into the real estate business? How did that all start for you? Because I assume back then you weren't actually working in real estate.
Yeah, I was teaching, I was lecturing, I was training computer trainers in teaching computers, and then got on to a business lecturing. I love technology.
Yep.
And I love the research, the data, collecting data and analyze them and things like that. And as I went through all the seminars, I learned a lot. But then the thing is, like, it feels confusing when you first started learning about things. So I thought I can't be doing this part-time. I can't be doing real estate part-time. So I figured I should get into it full-time so I can learn all the bits and pieces in real estate. That's how I got into the real estate.
Right. Yeah. And going back to 2010, you got a license and started on your own, or actually you wouldn't have even needed a license then, I guess, but
you do need a license then.
Yep. And you would have just started out on your own as a one-man band?
There was after a few years of working with in different franchises, and I was in commercial then.
Yep.
It happens that the company was changing brand from one to another, and and it happens that using my name was easier than using their name.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought
you were starting to build a bigger brand than the brand that you're under.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Interesting. And today, if we look at James Law today, where have you come to? What is James Law doing today? How's it changed?
Well, I think after a few years in the commercial leasing industry, some developers sort of like quite like the way we approach their leases and feel like working with us and they got us into project marketing.
Mm, mm,
And the first developer actually, gave us 150 grand marketing fund
yeah.
to kick off their marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
that got us on to the project marketing ladder.
Yeah.
And so somehow I think we're doing pretty well over the years. We sold over $5 billion worth of
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
estate off the plan,
Yeah.
and our largest competitors has done 2 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm curious because I know you had a tech background and you haven't stopped that interest in tech and you've taken it into the real estate world.
Yeah.
How's that changed your business and where do you see that going in the future?
The tech world. I sort of started computing since I was 7,
Mm,
and but 10 years ago, like we could say, we are pretty up to date with technology. In fact, we could be a bit more advanced than most traditional agencies. But now with AI and advancements in technology, I feel like I'm struggling to catch up with
right.
AI.
Yeah.
I think in a few years' time, maybe within 10 years, the entire industry might go through a dramatic change. Could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's way more happening than all the VR, virtual reality, and things like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a question that's probably controversial and a bit topical, but where do you think that leaves the agent in the future?
Well, the agents, in terms of their job, I think they'll be possibly could be replaced by AI. Even though people might you know might be against that, but things like drivers will be replaced. Junior lawyers will be replaced by AI. Junior doctors will be replaced by AI. Accountants will be replaced by AI. It's just something that's outside of our control.
Yeah. I sort of look at it and think, well, a lot of these things will be replaced by AI, but relationships and those human connections won't be. And so it's almost like a full circle thing. I feel like if you're given time back to do the relationship side of things, then that's how you're going to win. You're going to use your technology and your AI and bits and pieces to be best in the business in terms of efficiency, to allow yourself more time to do the face-to-face stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Selling, I don't know, like I think there's company that's developing AI buyer assistants to help them find properties, and it has all this data that they could analyze, and based on their budget, based on their maybe habits or maybe lifestyle, to pinpoint the exact property that that suits them the best in the market at the moment in time. Which no living agent could do that.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. I sort of I look forward to seeing how it evolves, really. Tell me a little bit, over the years, you've been an expert, and we talked about selling off plan, but you've also been an expert with selling into, or New Zealand real estate into markets in Asia. You're formerly from Malaysia, from memory.
Yes.
And you've done a lot of work in Singapore, Malaysia, and other places, and in terms of selling off plan to offshore investors.
Yep.
Where's our market sitting at the moment, and where do you see things going with this new national government in terms of potentially getting back to the days of being able to sell into those markets?
Well, I think when people mention real estate market, I think they are assuming it's the residential market. But off the plan market is a different market. Commercial market is different market, and development sites are different market altogether. I see the residential market, like houses at the moment, it is still a bit slow. I think mainly because of the interest rate.
Yeah.
And the commercial real estate market is probably at the hot because the interest rate is even higher than the residential market.
Yeah.
The commercial leasing is going crazy. It's like they're doing one deal a day. Development sites, developers are coming back to look at them.
Yeah.
And that area is pretty busy at the moment. And developers, after I think after the new government has taken power, the developers are starting to engage us to start planning for the launch of their projects in the next half of the year or next year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so generally you're pretty positive about it.
Positive that the market will pick up by next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, we still have about a year of uncertainty.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And instability to go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like the retrenchments that we are seeing now.
Yeah.
It's going to have an impact.
Yeah. So, do you think we'll see the Asian investors back in New Zealand at some point?
What can they invest in?
Sorry, what was that?
I mean, what the thing is, the question is, what can they buy?
What can they
because
buy?
they can't buy residential.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can buy commercial, but it's a question mark. Is this an attractive market for them to purchase commercial properties?
Yeah.
I mean, other than the big multi-million-dollar sites, I mean, properties like the 80 or 90, 100 mil properties being purchased by the equity and fund. The normal market that we know of is not quite moving.
Yeah. No, good. What's the one thing you love about the industry? What gets you up in the morning and gets you to work?
Well, for me, it's the ability to be creative with and play with technology and gadgets. You know, like gadgets like drones, video cameras, equipment, and all the tech stuff was seen as toy in my other job. But now they become work.
Yeah.
You know, and it is a good thing that they see it as a positive thing that we bring it to work.
Yeah. No,
and
really
things like designing, like marketing.
Yeah.
I could use whatever I love into this job. Put them in
it really has changed, hasn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to come back to where we sort of started a little bit. If you were in the position of looking for that first home again today, what would your advice be to younger home buyers today in terms of getting into property? What would your few tips be for them?
Well, I think the market is now probably at the bottom. So if I were to start over again, I'll buy as soon as I can now, because I think it's going to pick up very soon. Like get in as early as possible with whatever resources they can get their hands on. I see some families, there are 2-3 families buying one home together, which may not be a bad idea,
Yeah. Do you do you think young home buyers should be thinking further afield than Auckland, or, you know, I know your business is largely in Auckland, but how do you see the country in terms of a marketplace, and you know, is there opportunity outside of Auckland?
I think there's a lot of opportunity outside of Auckland, especially down south, south of Auckland.
Yeah.
I see some development sites coming up around there, and also the infrastructure, the transport systems are going south. In fact, I've just been to one of the Drury like a community event where they're building some new roads in Drury. So and the Costco is going to Drury. So around the area, I think there's some opportunity there, and maybe 10-20 minutes away from there. Even places like Pokino and further down south, I think there are opportunities there. And the thing is, in maybe 10-20 years time, things are going to change because of the advancement in technology, where we could probably see flying cars in 10 years. And maybe 10-20 years, then it would take 15 minutes from Hamilton to Auckland. Then location is probably going to be less of a problem. It's like how we are doing this remotely now. It doesn't matter where I am or where you are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I guess that's right. It's probably something that's going to influence the way investors think about investing in the future, because we've been so road orientated in the past in terms of the way we think about things. But as Auckland gets bigger, you know, you mentioned Drury, and when you look at what's going into Drury, there's employment, there's retail, there's schooling, there's all those things. You know, those people are never going to actually be commuting into the CBD of Auckland, are they?
There's massive infrastructure going in the south.
How do you see Auckland evolving? Do you think we're going to see the super city almost become multiple cities again at some point in the future, or how do you see it playing out?
I think that's probably more political than logical. I don't know what will happen in the next 10-20 years with the cities. The thing is, what we see in the plan, the council plans, are that they're going to have like North Shore sort of like as a city. They're going to have like maybe even Westgate can be like a satellite city. Like I see people who live in the shore, they hardly want to go across the bridge. So like they like to stay in that area.
That's right. So next question for you is, you do a lot of commercial property, and I want to talk about what your tip of the week would be for property investors. You know, where would you be putting your money just at the moment if you had surplus money to put into property investment?
From the statistics, and I'm not sure whether I can mention this. I study Chinese metaphysics and also and stuff. The keyword is south of Auckland. Or South Auckland. So if I had the money, I would be putting money in the south. In fact, a few large institutional investors, they are buying south, South Auckland. And if we look at the infrastructure that the government's putting in, is going south for the next 20 years.
The south is the place to be. My last little topical area and question for you is more around the agent side of things. So you've got how many agents in your business these days, James?
I think we would have around 30 people now from a peak of 100.
Post-COVID. So, you know, if I was thinking about becoming an agent, or I just started as an agent, you know, what are the things that you need to do as an agent to do well in this market? You know, what are the key things that a good agent's doing?
they would need to become knowledgeable as possible. To start with, they need to learn real quickly within a couple of months' time, and then the only advice is to get listings rather than work with buyers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always about getting the listings, right?
Getting listings, and that's where the security is.
Yeah. And how much of that is relationship these days? Pressing the flesh.
All of them are relationship, but then the thing is like buyers and vendors, they're not loyal to anybody. They're loyal to the person who could sell their property, or who they perceive as being able to sell their property and able to offer them a good service and easy to communicate. You know, like when people get busy, they stop communicating with their clients.
Yeah.
Even though they may be the best in the market, but then.
Yeah. So it's important to keep the communication level up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, you know, that's what we've seen from 21 through to now is, you know, a complete change in the market where we haven't had an overheated market versus, you know, a market where it's all about finding good listings. And so the things that a good agent is doing today versus back in 2021 is going to differ a bit, right?
Completely different.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, that's really all I've got for you today, James. But thank you very much for taking the time to come on Subject to Finance, and talk again soon.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.